am so sorry about that. My air compressor turned on. So anyway, back to what I was saying. If you guys have one of these units, please comment below. I'd like to know what your story is on it. And like I said before, you're not getting a whole lot for the kind of money that you're spending. I mean, this thing is so sensitive. There's so many rules on what to do and what not to do. I mean, just to have it installed, they say, oh, just install it and hey, you're all set, change this and that. But this and that just could be a whole list of like 10 different things you have to do. And oh, don't bother if it's it's going to cost you about $2,000 just to get it all in there, just to make this stupid thing work. Essentially, your car has to be working perfectly for this thing to work. Your sensors have to be working perfectly. Everything's got to be tuned. So bear that in mind when you buy from Aqua. By the way, I know people have had success with these, at least I think. However, I have commented on their stuff and I have not gotten a response back. So every time I see someone, I've only seen one person so far use this thing and check their mileage the old school way by filling their tanks up and doing the math on the calculator, not using some electronic computer that they hook up to the car. That is not the way to check your gas mileage. I know it can get close, but that is not the way to check it. I'm actually going to show you what I'm using right now. I really don't know if this is going to work. I am going through tests right now. This is a hydrogen cell that I've had for quite some time. And it's not even warm. I've had this thing running. I'm just trying to cycle through a lot of, I put a ton of extra lye. I use lye for my electrolyte for this. This thing is a 12-inch by 12-inch cell, and it's like, I don't know, an inch thick. Anyway, it's just what I had, so I put that in there. My lines run through here. They come up through here and into my bubbler. And this is just a second one because I don't want, if it splashes around, I don't want that going into my my system. I don't want it corroding anything. So this is kind of this whole deal here, and this is two different units I have purchased over time. And yes, you have to have some type of oxygen sensor manipulator to get this type of system to work. I have never heard of anyone other than carbureted engines having success with that type of hydrogen system. So I'll show you what I have bought. I don't know if you can see this, but this thing shows engine off right now. I do have a plastic on it because I'm trying to keep it protected. Anyway, this thing allows me, it's all hooked into my sensors here. I've got about 5 different sensors that I can control with this unit here. I am trying to remember where I bought this thing from, who I bought it from, the name of the people. I will try and add that to the description once I find out. But essentially, I purchased that so that I can have complete control over the entire fuel system. So what 5 sensors, I can control the front oxygen sensor, the rear oxygen sensor, the temperature control, the intake air temperature control, and let's see here, what else is there? Oh yeah, your map sensor. So that's 5 sensors. You can control more, but those are the 5 that I'm using right now. Actually, the only sensors that I am not editing right now is the map sensor. I am only using the front and rear oxygen sensors to manipulate everything. Oh, actually, and I am using the temperature control, the engine temperature control, and the intake temperature control. I am not messing with the map sensor whatsoever because according to my according to my OBD2 reader, which is this unit right here. I got this from Harbor Freight. I'll be reading the live, the live fuel readings on here, and I could not achieve negative fuel readings until I stopped trying to manipulate the map sensor. So I stopped using the map sensor manipulation altogether, and I'm only using the front and rear oxygen sensors. I'm manipulating those, the intake temperature, and the engine temperature. So I'm only manipulating 4. And when I manipulate all 4 of those, I can then gain negative up to about -7 for my fuel trims. However, it stays pretty steady about a -1 to 0 to -2. So as long as at 0 or in the negative numbers, I'm happy with that. So by the way, I thought I would just mention it's winter here, so I put quite a bit of lye in my bubbler. Let me show you how much I used, because I was having issues with it freezing, and I looked it up online how much of this stuff that you can put in there. I have put half of this in there, and this is 16 ounces. Half of this to trying to think how much water is in that bubbler. I'm going to say about a quart's worth. So about a quart of water in the bubbler. Obviously, it has to fill the unit as well. So once that's full, there's a formula of how much of this to put in per quart of water or whatever it is. So when I put half of this in there, it does not freeze. So if you're having issues with that, you can do that. By the way, comment below if you have any information on the Aqua system, or what you're doing on your own vehicles as far as hydrogen system. Thank you.